I have a new word challenge. I thought this would be fun.
Okay.
Because there's a sagacious chasm between you and
there
I.
is I've never seen a more sagacious chasm in my life.
Yeah. I have decided that every podcast we're going to have a challenge.
Okay.
And I've got a book called Words You Should Know to Sound Smart.
Okay.
And I'm going to flip through it. And I'm just going to pick a random word.
Sorry, you own that book and you still sound the way you do.
I didn't say I'd read it.
Okay, right. Sorry. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah.
And we have to use that word in the podcast. And the first one
goodness.
to use it is the winner.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's got to be in context.
Yeah.
all
So
that.
you can't just randomly
But you've
say
got
the
an
word.
advantage because you already know what the word's going to be.
Well, I can randomly choose a new one.
Well,
if you
okay.
like.
Now, what's the word? What do you got?
The word is recalcitrant.
Oh, recalcitrant. Everyone knows recalcitrant.
They don't.
Only an old curmudgeon recalcitrant wouldn't know what the word recalcitrant meant.
I was like,
I believe I win.
I think no, that does not win. Or we can use a new word, a ye-old English word that hasn't been used in like the last 50 years.
Oh, goodness.
But we'll use recalcitrant because that's the one I planned.
Yeah, let's stick with that.
So you have to slip it in. You can't be like, it has to just feel organic.
This podcast is taking a twist.
And I promise you will probably forget the word.
I probably, yeah.
Anyway, so that's our new thing. We're going to teach our audience something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so recalcitrant. And share the show. I'm just going to keep saying that.
Yeah, all right.
All right, so segments today, guys, for you who want to know upfront what we're talking about. It's a very Aussie podcast today. We're being patriotic.
Excellent.
So we're going to talk about topics that really make you guys happy. This is going to be uplifting.
This is a happy Australian news podcast.
Yeah, you're going to feel
I'm
uplifted.
not sure that such a thing is possible.
No.
Have you been paying attention?
Are you ready for the topics?
I don't think I am by the sounds of it.
Jacinda Allen's pay rise. Because nothing fills my cup more with joy.
Happy, joy.
She is now the highest paid premier in the country.
Oh,
and
but boy, she's worth every cent.
Isn't she
just? Just amazing. What a woman.
And if that doesn't make you jubilant with joy, Australia's 17 highest-ranking public servants will be paid a combined remuneration packages of up to $16.3 million, in addition to travel expenses and other perks.
Those are rookie numbers. We've got to pump those numbers up.
I am feeling elated.
That's less than $1 million each. How can we possibly? That's why we get such
didn't we at least round it up?
We get such rubbish people at the top because we don't pay them enough.
Correct.
Yeah.
And further to that, Jacinda Allen's government's plan to ignore the will of the people at considerable cost to legislate a permanent Indigenous voice to state parliament.
Oh, but I'm actually genuinely happy about this because finally the Victorian opposition have an opportunity to actually stand up for something. But we'll get to that later.
You're ruining my joy.
Sorry.
This is happy.
I didn't mean to be serious.
This is happy.
Right.
And of course, we have to tie it out with a couple of really, really enjoyable things. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding, tipped to be about 50 million US.
I am already falling asleep.
No. This is good. This is great. This is salacious. And then finally, to round it all out with actual good news, Jaguar's 97.5% sales drop since their rebrand.
Boy, am I going to harsh your mellow on that one.
Oh, please do. Harsh my mellow. What's to harsh?
No, sorry. It's they've also posted record profits, or the Jaguar Land Rover Group posted a record £3.3 billion profit in the same period.
Is that including the Land Rover brand?
Yes, it includes the whole thing, but there's a reason why Jaguar sales have fallen, which most of the pundits that are crowing about the falling sales aren't giving the background.
Because they stopped the
We'll
production.
get to it later.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm running the show.
Oh,
Damn
sorry.
it.
Then don't make me do your job for you.
And I have a brilliant Carl's rant. I've actually planned the rant. But
Does a planned rant count?
oh, well, yeah, because I've been sitting on this for days and it's just like building
Oh, so
and it
this
will
is-
eventually just,
Right. So you are
Implode.
pregnant with rantiness.
let's not ever use that word in correlation to me ever.
All right, fine.
Allergic. All right. So,
Oh, can we add one more topic?
yeah.
Can we talk about EVs on ferries?
Yeah, the one that blew up recently.
Or
They're all
more than that, British Columbia is banning EVs that have been involved in any kind of breakdown or accident from going on any of their ferries. And that's a big deal in BC because there's a lot of islands and a lot of ferries.
Ooh, I didn't hear that. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
breaking news came out last night.
firstly, we need to look at this.
Oh, yes. Yes, you revealed this on Monday night. We do a live on Monday nights for those that don't know. 1 hour long, 7 p.m. Monday nights, the Oddcast Live. Join us, be there or be square. This was revealed on the Oddcast, and can I say, I love this more than I should.
Now, this was designed by our third unseen staff member, that is G. Mm-hmm. And he made me, for the first time in my 39 years, sit down and watch Star Wars.
How are we friends?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of unsubs on Monday when I revealed that information.
You've literally sabotaged the entire brand. Our future is ruined.
I apologize, guys, and it was as cheesy and as silly and cringe as I expected it to be.
But that's what makes it so good. Don't watch the other stuff. It's so we're talking just for those that are sitting here going, yeah, but which Star Wars? No, Episode 4, A New Hope, the good ones, right?
That's the one I watched.
Yeah.
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 And so we had a deal because he's never seen Harry Potter, and he's like, "Well, you've never seen Star Wars." So we shook hands and we had an accord that we will trade movies. He's also not seen Lord of the Rings. Can you imagine?
I don't know how you could possibly find him acceptable boyfriend material.
I remember going to the Lord of the Rings every Boxing Day when they came out and having to be prepared for like the 3.5 hour thing that it was.
And they're still not long enough. It's the extended edits, the director's cuts that you want to watch. I've got them on Blu-ray if you want to borrow them.
I don't
Just
have a
saying.
Blu-ray player. But I do have a new TV from the 1970s.
This is
Wing
super
it
cool. Now, I have some good news on that front. The test, not for this shirt, but the test printing of your original, the OG, with the DeLorean in it, has now been completed. I don't physically have it yet, but I'm reliably informed by my guys in Horsham who do all the actual work for me. It looks freaking mint and the colours pop like mad.
I am excited to see it.
Yeah.
I think that's going to do well.
I think it's going to do well. I think it should do very well, and I look forward to wearing it.
And I think G's stay on tangent.
I think it's so good.
What would you do without me mincing my words? We wouldn't have cool things like stay on tangent.
Thank God for dyslexia. Hey?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even know I'm doing it half the time. So I'm just a creative genius.
There you go.
Just call me Kanye.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
All right. So our very first one, I need to bring this up. I've got all the controls here now. I feel
Yeah,
so,
you've got everything.
I'm in
You've got this like
control.
space age control panel around you here now.
Look at me go.
Yeah.
So this is the news, and you started out on this. So everyone remembers this, the new Jaguar rebrand. Can I just go full graphic designer? What in the stop? What I have so much that enrages me about this.
Yeah.
Why is there a capital G and a U?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to fair, that U could be a lowercase.
You
but
could
that
argue otherwise, the capital G.
is
Yeah.
just like, this is an heritage British brand, and you are
Good
bastardizing.
use of the N and heritage. That's like, I respect that. You're supposed to use "and" before an H word.
Yeah.
Most people don't.
Oh,
So
I know
sorry.
some
I
things.
just wanted to.
I'm not totally illiterate.
Yeah, look, if I'm gonna rip you a new one every time you get something wrong, then I should at least acknowledge when you that
Thank
was
you.
good. That was nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I have some real issues just from a graphic designer
You've got
point of view.
so many issues. Oh, just the graphic design ones. Okay, yeah.
Well, that, and then, I mean, we've all seen this. I don't think I need to play it.
Oh, it's so painful. What's painful about this is that it is so uncreative. By the time they released this, it was pure derivative. It's literally just a rehashing
He looks like he's in a concentration camp. He looks so unhappy to be there.
Now, to their credit, Jaguar fired the creative agency responsible for this, and I use the word creative advisedly. The not very creative agency responsible for this monstrosity have been fired by Jaguar. But they're kind of stuck with the rebrand. They're kind of like they can't rebrand now. That's one of those things they can't back down from.
Really? I feel like they
Need to,
They
but they
could.
yeah. So lots of people have been crowing about this collapse in sales, 94 whatever it is percent collapse in sales, and that's comparing April this year to April last year, and that's true. That's a real stat. That did actually happen. Jaguar announced that this is a massive rebrand. This is not just putting a different badge on their cars. They're releasing all new cars, discontinuing all of their existing ones, retooling all of their factories, everything. This is not something that they normally do on all their products at once. Car companies will retool and re-release a single car to keep all the other production lines running. So this is a really big moment for Jaguar. I think they've got it wrong, but I will defend them on this sales side of things. Most of their products are no longer available.
Yes, it does say that in this
Right?
article.
It's not a case that no one's trying to buy their cars. It's that actually they're selling every car that rolls out. They're just not rolling many cars out. A lot of people also will be waiting for all the new stuff. So there's plenty of Jaguar fans out there, and there's plenty of people that will find that kind of nonsense appealing.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of idiots in the world. We've established that fact.
I'm not going to, I don't hate the design. I know it's a concept car and it's an EV. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
What I hate is the brand.
Yeah.
I hate what they've done. And what they did was something that was seen to be on brand in the moment. It was very fashion focused, but it was already too late. Woke is already dead.
Yeah,
So what
correct.
they've done the diversity hire, they've had the ageist thing in there, they've
Yeah.
done all these crazy colours, and you've gone from that beautiful established brand that has heritage to it, and the Jaguar, the actual animal is gone.
yeah.
They've always been on the front. It's like
So
taking away the spirit of ecstasy from the Rolls.
The first real world car I ever fell in love with was a friend of mine's. It was a 4-door Jaguar. It wasn't even one of the super cool, sexy ones, but it had the leaping Jaguar on the front.
Yeah.
And that made it instantly the coolest thing that there ever has been. And I've been a Jaguar loyalist ever since. I nearly bought an XKS some years ago, or an X. Anyway, one of their 2-doors. I can't even remember exactly which model it was now. One of their old school 2-doors, XJS, I think it was. And I would have proudly owned and driven that car. But what they've become now is this really weird nether brand where they've abandoned all of their heritage, which, remember, heritage can't be faked. You've either got it or you don't. And if you've got it, you need to leverage it, because once you let go of it, you're not getting it back.
Yeah.
They've abandoned all of their heritage to become something that is actually remarkably bland in a world full of woke already, yes, but also in a world that is stuffed full of cut price EVs.
Yeah.
If you want an expensive EV, you've already got the Polestar option. Volvo have already kind of jumped on there. All the other established marques.
BYD, which I feel like they're everywhere now.
That's cheap Chinese crap.
Yeah.
That's,
They've exploded. They're everywhere.
Literally, yes. Yeah, that's...
I'm just trying to find an image. So my grandfather had a Jag, and I think it was an E-Type. I'm trying to find an image of it. But yeah, and it was exactly that. It had... Oh, maybe it wasn't an E-Type. It definitely had the Jaguar on the front. It was a sedan.
I can understand Jag needing to modernize, needing to get away from the stuffy, middle-aged white guy who's overweight and arrogant, to get that image out of their brand. They tried that with the big one, their big sort of their S-Class competitor. I'm forgetting all the Jag model names now.
Well, the F-Type was pretty cool. That
The
was
F-Type
a cool
was
looking
cool,
car.
but funnily enough, the Jaguar heritage is in this beautiful blend of ride and handling. They were this car manufacturer who could make a sports car that handled brilliantly and still rode well. Yeah. The F-Type had terrible ride.
Did it? Is
really
that
stiff
the
suspension.
sporty one?
There was a sporty one, yeah.
This guy.
Really stiff suspension. Not a particularly enjoyable car to Grand Tour in.
Okay.
It rode like a hardcore sports car, but it's not a hardcore sports car. It's a Grand Tourer. It should
This
be
is meant to compete with like your Maseratis.
Well, it should be a budget Aston Martin.
Okay.
Right, a Jaguar 2-door hardtop coupe should be a budget Aston Martin, and it just wasn't, unfortunately. And look, I love the Jaguar brand, but their big XF, I think they called it, the big one, meant to be their limousine. I sat in one of those. A friend of mine was looking at getting one. He's older. He's in another generation older than me. He's got a bit of money. He's looking at getting one. Took me shopping. We sat in it and went, this is a horrible interior.
Yeah, okay.
It's what you would expect from a modern Volvo.
Yeah.
Right, which is fine if you're a Volvo shopper.
Yeah.
If you're into that kind of Scandinavian minimalist aesthetic.
Yeah.
If you're a Jaguar shopper, you want that little touch of luxury. You want that touch of handcraft.
Finish.
Yeah, you want finish on things. Again, think budget Bentley, budget Aston Martin. That's what you're shopping for.
You know who does this really well? Rolls-Royce do this incredibly well. I mean, rappers want Rolls-Royces because they're one of the most expensive cars you can buy. They're aspirational.
Yeah.
But Rolls-Royce looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like particularly a Phantom or a Ghost. I don't really like is it the Cullinan?
Yeah, that's the 4-door.
The SUV.
So a friend of mine in Melbourne has a Rolls, one of the big 4-doors. Gosh, I'm terrible with cars. I think I must still have a cold because my brain is foggy.
No, you've been hanging out with me too long.
Yeah. One of the really nice full-sized Rolls. One of the ones, it's got the umbrellas in the doors and all that kind of stuff. And
I think they all have that, don't they?
you never touch the door. You wave your hand and it opens itself, and then you sit in there and you wave your hand somewhere else and it closes itself. And
yes.
all of that sort of nonsense going on.
Fancy.
Beautiful, beautiful car and really lovely place to be. I do still find myself choking on the price. I just can't bring myself to believe. I mean, unless the exclusivity is part of the point, unless the statement of I can afford it and you can't is part of the point.
That's the whole point. Yeah.
And I'm not wired that way. Even if I had the money, I'm just not wired that way. So it kind of doesn't make sense to me. But for me, I would stump up the money on a Bentley because something that big that can move that fast and handle that well.
Well,
right,
you're not meant to drive your own Rolls.
Correct. In
That's
a Rolls,
the
you're the
point.
passenger.
Yeah.
In a Bentley, you're the driver. And so I would go as far as a Bentley, which a lot of people would view as excessive anyway. And to be honest, I can't afford it right now. Help a brother out. But if I was a squillionaire someday, Yeah, I could see myself buying a Bentley one day for the purpose of enjoying the driving and the experience with such a ridiculously heavy, large, opulent, luxurious thing that can move that fast.
Yeah. Adrian Portelli hotted up his Bentley. He lowered it and did all the things. It does look pretty cool. It's not my go-to, but that's...
I always barrack for the Bentleys when they do the 12-hour endurance races at Bathurst and...
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this clip from The Oddcast. You can find our full episodes over on YouTube at The Oddcast HQ. We'll see you over there. Make sure you like, subscribe, and get in the comments.